Hi everyone, welcome back to the SAM Biology classes online. I am Salim. Today we are going to study the conclusions of Darwin's theory. In my previous lecture, I told you that the theory of natural selection, it was proposed by the Charles Darwin, and in this theory, according to this theory, we have classified the postulates into observations and conclusions. I told you that 3 observations are there and this theory has 4 conclusions. And in this video, I am going to cover the 4 important conclusions of Darwin's theory, that is nothing but the theory of natural selection. The first conclusion is struggle for existence, then survival of fittest. Third conclusion is inheritance of useful variation and origin of species by natural selection. So these are the 4 important conclusions of Darwin's theory, and now we are going to study one by one in detail. See, as the name indicates, struggle for existence. See, we know that as per the Darwin, so due to overproduction, large number of offsprings are produced, and this leads to competition. Okay, so due to the production of large number of offsprings, the competition occurs between the members of the species, and this competition occurs for basic needs such as water, space, food, disease, predation, etc. And according to Darwin, 3 types of struggles are noticed. Number 1, inter-specific struggle, then intra-specific struggle, then environmental struggle. Okay, so I repeat once again: intra-specific struggle, inter-specific struggle, and environmental struggle. What do you mean by intra-specific or intra-specific struggle? So this type of struggle takes place between the members of same species. So this type of struggle or competition, it occurs between the members of the same species. For example, 2 dogs are fighting for a piece of meat. So here 2 dogs are there, and we know that they belongs to the same species, and they are fighting for the same resource, nothing but a piece of meat. And another example for intra-specific struggle is cannibalism. Cannibalism means a species eating its own species. That is referred as a cannibalism. And then coming to the inter-specific struggle. Inter means in between. So this type of struggle takes place between the 2 different species. Okay, for example, the vulture and fox are competing for the flesh of a dead deer. Okay, so when the deer was died, vultures are gathered around this dead body of the deer, and a fox may also interfere, or it may also participate in order to get the flesh of deer, and hence there is a struggle exists between vultures and fox. This is referred as interspecific struggle, because vulture is a bird, fox is a mammal, so therefore these are the 2 different species, and when the struggle takes place between 2 different species is called interspecific struggle. Then last one, environmental struggle. So this type of struggle takes place between the organism and the environmental factors such as floods, diseases, light, earthquake, etc. Okay, so as the name indicates, this struggle takes place between environmental factors and organisms. So this is about the first conclusion, that is struggle for existence, and you have to remember there are 3 types of struggle: intra-specific struggle, interspecific struggle and environmental struggle. Now, the next conclusion is survival of the fittest. What is the meaning of fittest? Fittest means the organism having useful variations and that can succeed in the struggle. Such an organism is called fittest. The organisms having useful variation and it can succeed, it can win in the struggle, so that is referred as a fittest. And only best adapted individuals can survive and reproduce in the given environment. For example, we know that industrial melanism, there are two types of moths are noticed before the industrialization in England. So white winged moth and another one is a melanized, nothing but black winged moth. So before industrialization there is a high population of white winged moth, but after industrialization it has been observed that due to the accumulation of smoke and soot on the trees, the black winged moth population has increased. So once upon a time the environment is favoring the white winged moth, and after industrialization it was favoring the black winged moth. Therefore only the best adapted individuals, it means before industrialization white winged moth population was considered to be best adapted, and after industrialization the black winged moth is considered to be best adapted. Hence only best adapted individuals can survive in the nature and they reproduce, and as a result so they have more number of offsprings. So only fittest organism can survive. This is the another important conclusion of Darwin theory. Then third important conclusion is inheritance of useful variations. I told you variations means difference. Inheritance means the transfer of characters from parents to offspring. This phenomenon is referred as a inheritance. And as I told you, fittest organisms will give rise to the next generation, and in this way the useful variations are transmitted to the next generation, and the less fit individuals will die and they get eliminated in the nature. Only fittest organism can survive that are having the useful variation. For example, if you take a plant which is having deficiency of chlorophyll, so therefore due to the deficiency of chlorophyll it cannot perform the photosynthesis and automatically it will get die because it is less fit. Why it is less fit? It is not having the chlorophyll, hence it will die. And as the environmental changes, the further adaptation occurs, and hence only the fittest organism can survive. And the last conclusion of Darwin theory is origin of species by natural selection. So what is the meaning of natural selection? So it is a process of selection of better adapted individuals having useful variation by the nature. So the nature will select the better adapted individuals that are having useful variations is called natural selection. As I told you, before industrialization nature has selected the white winged moth, and after industrialization in England black winged moths are selected. So this is referred as a natural selection because it is done by nature, and useful variations are accumulated and they are transmitted to the next generation through the reproduction process. We know that the characters as well as the useful variations are transmitted to the next generation, and this is the most important point you have to remember. According to the Darwin, evolution is a gradual process. So it takes place in a gradually. For example, you know that giraffe has a shorter neck and later it has a long neck. So the increase is gradual. It is not a sudden process. According to Darwin, evolution is a gradual process, and natural selection is responsible for the speciation. So this is the most important point, sir. So natural selection is responsible for the formation of new species, nothing but speciation. So this is all about the four conclusions of Darwin's theory or theory of natural selection. I hope I was clear. If you understood, like the video, comment on it and subscribe the channel to get the latest notifications of our all videos. Thank you very much.